In this video, we're going to see how you can quickly remove a person from a photo using Photoshop Elements. We'll see how to go from this to this. Hi, I'm Rick from EssentialPhotoshopElements.com. Let's go over to Elements and get started. I'm using Photoshop Elements 14 for this video, but the feature that we're going to use is called Content Aware Fill, and it was first added to Photoshop Elements 13. So this technique can be used with Photoshop Elements 13 and newer. I'll go over the steps in more detail later, but to start, I'll go through it so that you can see just how fast this process is. First, I'll duplicate the background layer by pressing Command-J on a Mac or Control-J on a PC. Next, I'll use the lasso tool to make a selection around the person. And I'm just going to kind of loosely follow the outline of this guy. All the way around him. There we go. Then go up to the Edit menu and choose Fill Selection. And in the dialog box that appears, there's this pop-up menu. Choose Content Aware from there, and then click OK. Photoshop Elements analyzes the photo, and then it removes the subject and fills in the selected area. Now I'll deselect so that you can see the results better. It's really fast and usually does an amazing job. If you look closely, you'll notice some duplicate areas. To make your photo more believable, you can touch up those areas. To fix that, I'm going to quickly clone over some of those repeating elements. I could clone on the same layer, but just to keep things easier to control in case I come back to this photo later, I'm going to do the cloning on a separate layer. So I'll click on the Create a New Layer icon in the Layers panel. Then I'll go to the Tools panel and click on the Clone Stamp tool to make it active. And down in the Tool options, I want to make sure to have Sample All Layers checked. I'll put my cursor over my image in the active image area and use the right and left bracket keys to resize my cursor. And then I'll just sample different areas of the photo to break up some of those obvious repeating patterns. You can do that if you hold down Option or Alt and then click. You can pick up that area to clone over the areas that you want to change. So I'll pick up here and just go up there. I'm just trying to make it so you don't see the same type of thing in different areas of the photo, because it's kind of a dead giveaway that you've retouched the photo, and we don't want to do that. So just want to make them look a little different, and it's really easy to do in an image like this because there's so many random directions and shapes, but yet the colors are pretty much the same. And I see this thing here is the same as over here. Let's see, I'll just pick up the top of something else here. Kind of go from there and then take some of this and put it over there. And that's going to be fine. Nobody's going to notice that. Another helpful tip is to rename your layers from their default names in the Layers panel to more descriptive names to remind yourself what kind of changes you made if you were to come back to this several days later or whatever. So I'll double click on this top layer. I'll call it Clone Repeating. And then this other layer I'll call Content Aware Fill. Now, this Content Aware Fill technique isn't ideal for removing people from every type of photo, but for photos that have large areas of similar background like this one, they can be perfect. If you're watching this video on YouTube, be sure to use the link in the description to go to my website to get the more detailed written instructions, including a downloadable cheat sheet that you can print out. Until next time, this is Rick from EssentialPhotoshopElements.com saying take care.